In ancient times, the term Junzi was not only a symbol of status but also an ideal of moral character. In Confucian thought, a Junzi embodies virtues such as integrity, composure, and resilience. They are seen as guardians of social justice and order. Confucius once said, "A Junzi is not a tool," emphasizing that a Junzi should possess broad-mindedness and high moral cultivation, rather than being limited to a specific skill or role. Over time, the concept of the Junzi has evolved, taking on more practical significance, particularly in the complex and contradictory modern world. The spirit of the Junzi is not only a continuation of traditional virtues but also a source of strength to navigate the ever-changing environment. Today, we face challenges such as information overload, online violence, and abuse of power, where individuals often feel insignificant in the face of these issues. However, by holding on to the spirit of the Junzi and upholding internal moral standards, one can avoid being swept away by the currents of society and become a defender of fairness and justice. Therefore, the modern Junzi is not just a moral model but also a pillar in society, approaching complex situations with reason and principles, and handling life's injustices with calm and wisdom. The need for Junzi in today's world is more urgent than ever. The resilience, rationality, and pursuit of justice that define a Junzi can help individuals maintain their integrity in difficult times, standing firm in the defense of fairness and justice. In this article, we will explore how to embody the spirit of the Junzi in modern society, using the core principle a Junzi may be reserved but never weak, and when confronted with injustice, they must speak out. Step by step, we will delve into how to practice this spirit, from independent thinking to safeguarding laws and justice. Every step involves personal cultivation and a commitment to social responsibility. By learning and mastering these 8 principles of action for the Junzi, we will not only be able to remain calm in the face of injustice but also act with a peaceful yet resolute stance in the complexities of modern life, applying ancient wisdom to create a fairer environment for ourselves and others. Let's begin. Number 1. Learning to think independently and resist the oppression of power. In ancient Chinese philosophy, independent thinking is an essential part of the Junzi spirit. Confucius Analects mentions, "A Junzi is not a tool," which implies that a Junzi should possess the ability to think independently, rather than merely relying on external judgments or pressures. Independent thinking is not only the Junzi's resistance to external forces, but also a commitment to their own inner principles. Similarly, in Mencius, it is stated, "Heaven's mandate cannot be defied," which does not suggest blind obedience to power but rather that a Junzi should act according to their own sense of justice, resisting any external oppression that contradicts moral law and fairness. Regardless of how times change, independent thinking remains a key way for a Junzi to demonstrate their personal values. In the face of power or external pressure, modern individuals must have the wisdom and courage to examine the essence of an issue and make rational judgments. When facing unfair treatment at work, for example, independent thinking helps one sift through the noise and find the truth, standing on the side of justice. Especially in today's society, individuals often face pressure from various sources, government policies, corporate directives, or societal standards. In such an environment, the ability to maintain rationality and stay true to one's internal values is crucial in demonstrating the Junzi spirit. A modern example of this is the case of Edward Snowden. Snowden, a former contractor for the U.S. National Security Agency, revealed the U.S. government's extensive surveillance programs. Although this action put him at great personal risk and led him to choose exile, he believed that disclosing the truth was a higher social responsibility. Snowden's actions sparked widespread global debate, with some viewing him as a traitor to national security, while others saw him as a defender of civil liberties. Regardless of one's opinion on his actions, Snowden's choice to think independently in the face of power and oppression exemplifies the modern Junzi spirit, defending privacy rights in the face of governmental control. Cultivating the ability to think independently is not easy, especially when facing powerful external pressures that may cause us to go with the flow. To do so, it is essential to develop critical thinking skills. A Junzi must learn to analyze issues from multiple angles and avoid blindly following the crowd or trusting authority without question. Through critical thinking, individuals can see beyond surface appearances to uncover deeper issues, thus avoiding being misled by false information or the facade of power. As Confucius said, "Learning without thinking leads to confusion, thinking without learning is perilous." Independent thinking requires not only learning but also deep reflection. Furthermore, independent thinking requires maintaining clarity of self-awareness, especially in complex and conflicting situations. A person's judgment is rooted in their understanding of the world and personal values. In the face of societal pressure, it is especially important to stay grounded in one's values. Regular self-reflection helps maintain calm and rationality, preventing external voices from influencing one's decisions. Finally, cultivating independent thinking involves gathering and verifying information. When faced with any decision or choice, a Junzi must seek the truth of the facts. By collecting, verifying, and analyzing information, one ensures that their judgments are based on solid evidence rather than unverified emotions or uncertain assumptions. Even when confronted by authority or immense external pressure, independent thinking enables us to make decisions that align with morality and justice. Through these methods, we can stand firm in our positions when facing external power and defend our inner sense of justice. This spirit not only helps individuals make more rational decisions in a complex society but also contributes to the overall development of a fairer and more rational society. As more people learn to think independently and resist external pressure, fairness and justice in society will be better safeguarded. Thus, independent thinking is crucial not only for personal development but also for creating positive societal ripple effects. In any field, those who possess the ability to think independently are often the ones to lead reform, drive progress, and ultimately guide society toward greater fairness and harmony. Number 2. Influencing others with rationality in the pursuit of fairness. Junzi focuses on the root. Once the root is established, the path emerges. This classic saying from Confucius Analects means that a Junzi should base their actions on justice, ensuring that all decisions and behaviors are rooted in morality and rationality. In modern society, the spirit of the Junzi is not only reflected in one's inner cultivation but also in their ability to influence others and inspire collective action, thereby realizing its social value. One of the key manifestations of the Junzi spirit is the ability to influence others through rational thought. This requires individuals to use rational thinking and communication to effect change, particularly when advocating for equal opportunities in the face of injustice. When faced with unfair treatment, it's natural to feel anger, frustration, and even resort to extreme reactions. However, a true Junzi does not rush into confrontation or respond impulsively. Instead, they seek solutions through rational thinking. As Mencius said, the Junzi seeks within himself, the petty person seeks from others. A Junzi does not hastily blame others but starts with self-reflection, searching for rational and fair ways to address the issue. By engaging in appropriate communication, they can drive change. This rationality and calmness allow them to effectively influence others and harness collective power to pursue fairness and justice. A modern example of this is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the leaders of the American civil rights movement. Faced with racial discrimination and an unjust societal system, Dr. King remained committed to nonviolence and rational struggle. Rather than resorting to violence or angry protests, he used rational, calm speeches and active social movements to draw attention to the need for racial equality. In his famous I Have a Dream speech, King used rational language and a vision of equality to resonate with millions, helping to push through the Civil Rights Act. His rational, thoughtful approach to influencing others laid the foundation for greater fairness and justice in society. In the modern workplace or academic environment, when individuals discover unfair treatment within their team or organization, using rationality to drive change is equally vital. Often, systemic flaws or injustices arise not from malicious intent but from a lack of perspective or communication channels. A rational Junzi analyzes the root cause of the problem, finds appropriate ways to communicate with others, and uses facts and data to support their stance. In such situations, calm rationality not only helps individuals make better decisions but also garners more support in the fight for fairness. The key to influencing others through rationality lies in first being able to view issues through a rational lens, rather than being swayed by emotions. When individuals face injustice, they are often tempted to react emotionally, leading to impulsive responses. The rationality of a Junzi requires them to clearly identify the root cause of the problem and seek the best solution through careful thought. With thorough preparation, factual evidence, and rational debate, a Junzi can build their reputation within a group and drive broader efforts for fairness and justice. Rationally influencing others also demands strong communication skills. When discussing issues, the ability to clearly express one's viewpoint and persuade others to understand and accept the argument is essential for a Junzi in advancing fairness. Rational communication does not mean being cold or rigid but finding the right approach to help others understand that the intention is for the collective good, not personal gain. Moreover, influencing others through rationality not only serves to address current issues but also contributes to long-term social progress. As more people use rational communication to push for change, society gradually forms an atmosphere of fairness. As the doctrine of the mean states, harmony but not uniformity, people with different perspectives can reach a consensus through rational means, ultimately achieving a common goal. Rationality and emotion are not opposing forces but can complement each other. In the pursuit of fairness, rationality helps us find the right methods and paths, while emotion motivates us to keep moving forward. When rationality and emotion are combined, not only can we promote individual growth, but we can also contribute to societal progress, steering society toward greater fairness and harmony. Ultimately, the goal of influencing others through rationality is to achieve fairness and justice. When everyone in a society starts from rationality to advocate for the values of fairness and justice, society will gradually move toward a more harmonious future. As modern Junzi, rationality not only helps us make wise decisions in a complex social environment but also enables us to influence others, driving society as a whole toward a better and more just direction. Number 3. Respect and inclusion, defending self-value in a multicultural world. The Analects of Confucius teaches us that the gentleman seeks harmony but not uniformity. This profound statement reflects the spirit of respect and inclusion found in the Confucian ideal of the Junzi, gentleman. A Junzi does not abandon his principles and beliefs in order to please others, but instead seeks harmonious coexistence while respecting and understanding the differences of others. In today's multicultural world, respect for others, the tolerance of differences, and the defense of one's own cultural values are essential qualities of the modern Junzi. In the collision and fusion of cultures, the Junzi remains true to himself while also respecting others, playing a crucial role in building a harmonious society. In the increasingly globalized world we live in, we are part of an increasingly diverse society where cultural differences, racial backgrounds, and conflicting beliefs often become the sources of friction between people. However, the Junzi spirit requires us to approach these differences with an open mind, to seek understanding from a higher perspective, and to respect others' cultural backgrounds and values, while firmly defending our own culture and identity to ensure that we maintain our dignity in a diverse world. Many great thinkers in history have emphasized the importance of respect and inclusion. Confucius, in the Analects, teaches, "Do not impose on others what you do not desire yourself." This statement is not only a moral principle for interpersonal interactions but also a profound insight into cultural differences. Everyone has the right to uphold their own beliefs and way of life without imposing them on others. Similarly, as Junzi, when faced with people whose culture or beliefs differ from our own, we should treat them with the same tolerance and respect. Respect and inclusion are not only expressions of personal cultivation but also forces that promote harmonious coexistence in a diverse society. In modern society, we often see conflicts between different cultural groups caused by misunderstandings or prejudices, which often stem from a lack of communication and understanding. If we can foster understanding and inclusion through rational and patient dialogue, many conflicts can be transformed into harmonious coexistence and mutual development. In this process, the role of the Junzi is vital. They should not only advocate for respect and inclusion but also set an example through their own behavior, defending the self-value of their culture through action. In today's society, defending self-value within a multicultural context does not mean rejecting other cultures. Rather, it requires us to firmly defend our own culture and identity while respecting others. For example, in cross-cultural exchanges, we may encounter prejudice or misunderstandings about our culture. As Junzi, we should respond calmly, not with anger, but through rational and gentle communication to explain the background and values of our culture, thus dispelling misunderstandings and promoting mutual understanding. In the context of globalization, cultural respect and inclusion are especially important. They can foster dialogue between cultures and encourage the development of mutual respect and cooperation between different peoples. A modern example is the Chinese-American author Amy Tan, whose work The Joy Luck Club deeply explores the clash and fusion between Chinese-American families and mainstream American culture. Through her portrayal of characters and stories from different cultural backgrounds, she examines how cultural differences influence personal identity and life choices. In dealing with cultural conflicts, Amy Tan did not choose to avoid or simplify the issues, but instead portrayed, with great sensitivity, how Chinese American immigrants learned to respect their own culture while also understanding and tolerating the values of Western society. Her work not only provides readers with perspectives to understand different cultures, but also helps many people see how to balance self-identity and others, defending one's own identity while remaining open-minded in a multicultural society. Defending self-value within a multicultural context also means not losing oneself when facing cultural challenges. In the wave of globalization, many people may abandon their cultural roots in an effort to fit into the mainstream culture. However, the Junzi spirit advocates for respecting other cultures while preserving one's own cultural identity. As Junzi, respecting others' cultures does not mean compromising or abandoning oneself, but finding common ground through dialogue and realizing the fullest expression of self-value through harmonious coexistence. Psychologists have noted that a sense of identity and belonging is an essential part of mental well-being. Everyone wants to be recognized within a group and to live and grow in an atmosphere of respect and understanding. In this context, respect and inclusion are not merely external behaviors, they are also internal cultivation and wisdom. By defending the self-value of our own culture, a Junzi not only enhances their own psychological health and happiness but also promotes social harmony and progress. Respecting and including others' cultures while defending self-value is a key expression of the Junzi spirit in modern society. Through rationality, tolerance, and steadfastness, the Junzi fosters understanding and harmony between cultures, defends the value of their own culture, and contributes to the diversification and integration of society. In the era of globalization, this spirit of the Junzi provides a powerful driving force for social progress and harmony. Everyone can enhance their inner cultivation through respect and inclusion, helping society move towards a fairer and more harmonious future. Number 4. Courageously defending public interest and advancing social progress through responsibility. In the Mencius, it is said, "Care for the elderly as you would care for your own, and care for the young as you would care for your own." This statement not only reflects concern for individuals and families but also highlights a sense of responsibility towards society's vulnerable groups. As one of the key elements of Junzi spirit, responsibility calls for individuals to rise above personal interests and actively advocate for the collective welfare in the face of public issues. In modern society, areas such as environmental protection, public health, and educational equity are typical fields where the public interest needs to be defended. The spirit of Junzi demands that we promote social progress through rationality, responsibility, and action, becoming strong guardians of public interest. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the defense of public interest is closely tied to the concept of the world belongs to the public. In the Book of Rights, it is written, "When the Great Way is practiced, the world is a public matter," describing an ideal social state where people aim for justice and harmony, valuing the welfare of others over personal gain. This notion calls for individuals to prioritize responsibility and benevolence in society, following the principles of cultivate the self, manage the family, govern the country, and bring peace to the world. For the Junzi, this means not only pursuing moral perfection on a personal level but also advancing social justice through their actions. Additionally, in the Junzi, it is stated, "Heaven's course has its regularity, it does not persist for the reign of Yao, nor perish with the reign of Jia," emphasizing that the order of nature and society does not change based on individual will. The responsibility of the Junzi is to align with this order and, through integrity and wisdom, resolve societal conflicts and injustices. For example, when addressing environmental issues, the Junzi spirit does not advocate for blind opposition or radical resistance, but rather supports rational analysis of the root causes of the problem and seeks solutions that are in harmony with natural and societal laws. In this light, defending the public interest is a way for the Junzi to practice seeking the root, and when the root is established, the path is clear forms the foundation of social progress. From the perspective of ancient philosophy, the defense of public interest requires the spirit of benevolence. The benevolent love others is not only a personal moral cultivation but also a concern for all of society. Confucius proposed, one should seek to establish themselves and help others do the same, one should seek to succeed and help others succeed. This idea of treating others as one would treat oneself offers profound insight into modern social responsibility. Defending the public interest is not merely an act but a moral awareness and a value-driven choice. Responsibility also involves facing risks and enduring pressure. The I Ching teaches, heaven moves vigorously, and the Junzi strives without rest. This suggests that when confronted with social injustice and complex issues, one must possess resilience and the ability to act continuously. Defending public interest often involves encountering resistance or even making sacrifices, but it is precisely this courage and persistence that drive social progress and harmony. In conclusion, the brave defense of public interest is a vital manifestation of the Junzi spirit. It is not only a demand for individual responsibility but also a necessary force for advancing social justice and progress. In modern society, we can draw wisdom from ancient Chinese philosophy, using rational analysis, practical action, and unwavering effort to become defenders of the public interest, bringing greater welfare and improvement to society. The Junzi spirit is not only an ancient philosophical concept but also a vital force in addressing the challenges of modern society. From ancient classics to contemporary practice, this spirit emphasizes responsibility, rationality, and perseverance, providing us with a clear direction in navigating complex situations. Defending the public interest is not only about protecting the rights of others but also about firmly embodying one's own values. It teaches us that in this uncertain age, we must not follow the tide, retreat in the face of difficulties, but instead courageously step forward, using wisdom and action to drive social progress and harmony. Perhaps you have also felt injustice in your life, or witnessed problems that need to be addressed. This is exactly when we can apply the Junzi spirit. Never underestimate your own power. Every rational and courageous choice can be the beginning of change. As ancient Chinese philosophy says, accumulating goodness leads to virtue, and divine clarity will naturally follow. Every small act of kindness will eventually gather into a mighty force pushing society forward. If today's video has resonated with you, please don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts. On this channel, we will continue to explore how ancient wisdom comes alive in modern life. If you're interested in learning more about philosophy, life, and social progress, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Let's become a force that drives the world towards goodness together. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.